Candace Cameron Bure, 25 seconds to showtime, Candace Cameron Bure.
She is not here.
What? I'm shocked.
What?
I am shocked.
This was supposed to be your celebrity guest.
I know. Promises had been made. But, things happen. We do have this message that she sent out to everyone at Fort Hood.
Oh, that's good. Let's do that.
Nice.
Let's listen to that message, and then we'll get on with it, shall we?
I think we shall.
Fort Hood. We are still in New York. We sat on the runway for a few hours, and then they canceled our flight. So we're grabbing a new flight, and I'm still going to make it. I will be there a little later than we originally planned. But I'll still see you.
But she didn't see us. Listen to this.
Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger steaks. This is beef country, Texas. Home to the Alamo, the Cowboys, and the largest military installation known to man. So big, it has a big name. Fort Hood, the great place. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
I love that music. That is Will Courtney, and I can't thank him enough for providing music for the podcast. I am Charlie Maib.
I am Dave Larsen.
And I am Kyra Pearl.
What's your rank?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm PFC Kyra Pearl.
You'll get it right one of these days.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And we are Fort Hood's great
Big podcast.
My goodness, it took you all a while to come in on that. We've got a great show this week. And actually, for the very first time...
Uh-huh.
Hello. What?
Oh.
What are you guys doing?
What? Who are you? Who are you? What was that? What is...
Hello.
My goodness.
What are you guys doing in here?
Specialist
Nothing.
Brianna do.
Oh, sounds like something's going on.
It is. I thought we were doing a bit where you were ripping her out of the chair and
Oh.
Go on, rip her out of the chair. Fight.
No! How dare you!
It sort of loses its edge when you got to announce it to everybody.
Yeah.
Did you hurt her? No. Okay, you're good. You can sit down.
Okay.
You can sit back down again.
Well, that bit did not work.
No, well, it almost did. It almost did.
Really?
Close
Almost?
enough for government work, I'll tell you that.
I thought we were all going to chat.
Well, we are all going to chat, but you were supposed to do that thing first.
Oh, okay. I'll do it again.
No, that ship has sailed.
Okay.
We're already here. We're recording.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Great
Welcome
Big
back.
Podcast.
Thank you.
Where have you been?
I have been out and about. I went to the range last week.
Yes, tell us about that. I got your texts.
Yes. I found out at like 10 o'clock that night that we were leaving at 6 a.m.
Yay.
So I had to get all my gear together and get on the bus and get our weapons. And we went out there in the cold and muddy rain.
Well, you know what this is, Brianna? This is the smallest army band in the world playing... What is he playing? I don't know. Playing Gary Owen. I don't know.
I always love Gary Owen.
Gary Owen. He's a great guy.
Yeah. Fired, requalified on my M4, so we're good to go now.
All right. How'd you do?
I shot a 28.
Out of 100?
No, out of 40.
All right. Well,
It's not bad.
It took a couple tries, though. There was fog, And I literally couldn't see past the 150 meter target for the first 2 times that I went. It was like so thick. So, but the third time I went, the fog cleared away and I could actually see like farther down clearly. So
Yeah,
that
it was
helped me out a
really
lot.
foggy this week.
I used to use the fog excuse too. I always say it served me well when I was in uniform.
Never gets old.
Yep. Well, today I've got something big. We've got our first bit of feedback.
Oh.
Hey, listeners, did you know that you can communicate with us? Well, you can. All you have to do is, what are you doing, Brianna? You're trying not to laugh. You're laughing steadily off.
Sorry.
You can communicate with us, too. God, this show's going to hell and it hasn't even started yet. You can communicate with us, too, listeners, by emailing us at forthoodpao@gmail.com. And we really do want to hear from everybody out there. We want to hear the good stuff, the bad stuff. If you've got a comment about a story or want to add something, let us know. We'll read it on air, just like I'm going to read this one, our very first. Dun, 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 dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun.
goodness.
Yay.
I'm excited.
So this email is from Dave.
Not me.
Not Dave Larsen. Dave, not Larsen, out of Florida. So you're not in Florida, you're in Texas. So
I'm not in Florida.
far-reaching podcast. And he says he just listened to the new podcast. Very good. Now it was last week's podcast
Aw.
episode.
So that's you.
Hey,
5.
I was in that
Oh my
one.
goodness.
He says, one thing I will say is that last week's podcast was also good. So that's you.
Yay.
So the last 2 podcasts
Gotta
good.
represent.
But my wife and I noticed, listening in the car, that sometimes you guys spoke so softly that we could not hear what you were saying without cranking the volume way up. Then, when you started speaking normally, we'd have to crank it way down. I did not hear that on today's podcast. And you know why? Because I figured out how this machine works.
Really?
It's always good.
Yeah, before it was a mixing. It's a technical thing. I'm not going to get into that because nobody wants to know. It should be fixed by now.
Remember him messing with it at the job fair?
Yes.
Yeah, he actually figured it out there.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yes.
All it took was a job fair. And he says, anyway, we are really enjoying the great big podcast, Dave from Florida. So, Dave, if you're listening, and we hope we haven't lost you, thank you so much for letting us know. And we fixed that.
Yay.
It's always good.
Yeah, if you have that problem again, let me know, and I'll take a look at what I can do. But I'm not promising anything.
I mean, who wouldn't want to hear your voice just blaring through their car speakers?
I don't know, not Dave, apparently.
No.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, no.
No?
I'm good.
Okay.
No Daves want to hear me loudly.
Yeah.
So I got an interesting story today. Football season. Once again, so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
The Packers
Go Packers.
packed it in.
You look so dejected.
But
It
we're
was.
coming up to the apex of the football season, the big game, the Super Bowl, as it were, famously held on, what day is the Super Bowl held on?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday.
I thought you meant a date for a second.
No,
No.
Super Bowl Sunday. So Super Bowl Sunday is a tradition. How many Super Bowls have they had? 55?
55.
This
A
is
lot.
55.
Wow.
And apparently this younger generation has just had about enough of that.
I mean,
They can't just live life the way it is. They got to change the world one Super Bowl at a time. So a change.org petition has been filed, or that somebody hit enter, to change Super Bowl 55 from a Super Bowl Sunday to Super Bowl Saturday. And it was started by Frank Ruggieri, and he says this is his justification, verbatim, right? It will get more money, period, and get more visitors to game, period.
No.
NFI will get more television views because most government jobs have off. Have 2 more children to enjoy their beloved game on TV or at venue. Most of your playoff games are on Saturday. probably have to prices because more visitors will go. So that was his justification of moving the game to Saturday from Sunday. And oddly enough, he's got 30,000 people who agree with him.
Well, I mean, the way he worded it was wrong, but the idea I agree with.
So you vote for the idea.
Yes, just not the way he, not his description.
Well, you know, he was obviously filled with passion, so the passion might have been clouding his fingers
He's
as he
full of
typed.
something.
Yeah. It almost
Yeah.
sounds like English is his second language.
Could be.
Oh,
or
that's
third.
It could
That's
be.
very
It could
true.
be. Football appeals to all people.
It
I mean,
does.
figure it out. Honestly, no more people are going to go to that game. Do you realize how much it costs to go to a Super Bowl?
Well, I don't think more people would go to the game, but I know that more people would be able to watch the whole game.
Because on Sunday, somehow you're not able to watch TV? at
Because
5?
on Sunday, well, it doesn't. It starts at 5, but it lasts
Till
later
about
into
11
the
o'clock.
night.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
going to last
Yeah.
the same amount of time on a Saturday.
But on a Saturday, you don't work the next day. On a Sunday, you work that Monday. You have to wake up early. If you're in the Army, you have to wake up at 5 or 6 to
Or,
go to
you
work.
know,
On
or
a
you got
normal
to get
job,
up
you
to
have
go to
get up at
church
7.
like some people
That's
do.
true.
But I mean, that's a choice for a Sunday.
Yeah.
Church
can-
is a
you can-
choice for a Sunday.
I mean, I'm
It is.
Jewish, so I don't go on Sundays.
Oh, yeah, Saturday. So
no,
why are
it's Friday night.
it's Friday? Oh, so you don't even
Yeah.
have you don't have a religious
Non-stop
dog
partying.
to hunt in this.
But yeah, so I mean, on Saturday nights, people usually stay up late, so it's not as
Yeah.
So what time do you go to bed normally?
normally. I like to go to bed around 21:30, so like 9:30.
21:30?
9:30
You're
p.m.
so Army.
9:30.
9:30. How about
Wow.
you,
I have to
Brianna?
wake up at like 4.
On a weekday or a weeknight?
Weekend. We're
Oh,
talking
or
weekends,
weekend.
right?
Oh, weekend.
Weekend.
Wait,
Yeah, weekend. What
I
time?
thought you meant
Oh.
like for a Sunday night.
No, no,
I was
no, no.
about to
Oh yeah,
say.
Sunday. We'll go do Sunday.
Sunday
'cause
night,
the
yeah.
Sunday
Yeah.
night. What time are you going? So you're 9:30.
Yeah, because I have to get up at 4 the
All
next
right.
day.
Yeah.
Talking to the mic too.
Oh.
You don't want to disappoint Dave.
You're right. You're right.
It's angled, sort of twist it.
There you
There
go.
you go. No, that's good. You know that. All right, there you go. All right. Lordy Lord. All right, Brianna, what time are you going
Usually
to bed?
10.
10 o'clock?
Yeah, sometimes 10:30.
All right, Dave?
Oh, 10.
All
10:30.
right. So you're telling me the Super Bowl's not over by then?
No, it usually
usually.
goes to like 10 or 11.
Is it from it's 5 hours
Yeah,
long?
somewhere in there. Oh, yeah. With
Yeah,
the
and then
halftime
they
show.
Usually have a really cool special after, like they're releasing something brand new.
Like,
It's like
it's
interesting
the
to watch.
Super Bowl, Charlie Brown.
No, not that.
Oh.
You know, it's like the news channels. They're trying to showcase
Like a
what some new
recap
thing.
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Post-game show.
But yeah, the halftime show takes forever.
Really?
Yeah.
And then they like
it
to squeeze in as
does.
many commercials as they can. So
It goes really late.
So you guys are in favor of that.
I am, yeah. I think it'd be a great idea, honestly.
Do you watch the Super Bowl as is?
No.
No. So you're both not
Okay,
going to
okay.
watch it, but you totally want to move this
I
thing.
watch
Neither one of
the
you watch the game.
commercials.
I tried to watch it when I was younger, but I would always get in trouble for staying up too late. And I'd have to get off the computer. We didn't have television, so I had to watch it like on the streaming.
But you're a big girl now. You can
Yeah,
stay
you're
up till 11. It's
Totally
Yeah.
adulting.
But the point is, more people would be able to watch it. That point in the petition is true. There would be more people able to watch it, and you'd be able to. A lot of people like to drink and hang out and have a party, and you can do that on a Saturday more easily than you can on a Sunday night.
And Brianna, you concur?
I think it's a great idea because, like, for Sunday nights, you know, you are drinking and people are enjoying themselves or they're eating a lot, so they just want to veg out for the night. But then Monday you have to work. And honestly, for the last several years since I've been in, like the post commander will give soldiers the
late
Monday off,
reporting.
No, the day off.
the day off,
That was
Yes.
overseas.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true. Yeah, we
yeah.
got it off overseas.
Yeah.
and then it was
But-
late reporting.
But that's because overseas, when we were in Japan together,
yeah,
Super Bowl
Well, the game was like
Sunday was actually Super Bowl Monday.
Monday, yeah.
yeah,
So that's why.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why.
But I've had late reportings too for the Monday,
Mm-hmm.
but not everybody gets that.
No.
Life is tough.
First world problem.
But Dave, you're the only real, what I would say, diehard football fan probably sitting here at the table.
Right.
So what's your take on this?
Yeah, leave it the way it is. I mean, if they're the Army thing, you know, I did the Army for a long time too, and a lot of places would say, okay, no PT, late report. You were overseas, it was on a Monday, they were giving you the day off to watch the game.
Yeah.
But I saw a commercial where they're talking about, hey, federal holiday. Huh? Just make it a federal holiday.
No, and I saw other people have said that as well. Here are some responses to the change.org position.
Right.
Official responses. Bobby Dove says, it has never made sense that the Super Bowl is on Sunday. Period.
Okay.
Never made sense.
Did he say the word period, or was it
No,
just
I
a
added that.
Oh, okay.
I added that.
He's reading the period.
I am reading it. Jason Amamenyaman
Okay.
says, this makes so much sense. Millions of people need to go to work and school the next day, and having the game on a Saturday would not negatively affect those people.
That's what
I'm with
saying.
Jason. I stand.
Yes.
Jonathan Russell says, either move it to Saturday or make Monday after it a federal holiday.
There you go.
Oh,
There.
There you
See?
go. So, I mean, people are passionate about this, and there's a movement to have it moved. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
I just think it's kind of interesting that we live in a day and age where if you don't like something, you don't just complain about it on social media. You can make a petition and have 30,000 other people say, heck yeah, move that thing to a Saturday.
Well,
That's it.
because the more people who who agree with you and take the same size, the likelier the chance that it'll actually happen.
But does it matter if that it doesn't happen? Do you still get some vindication from the fact that other people agreed with you?
I mean, if you're going through all the trouble to make a petition, you're
Well, I don't
trying
know
to
if this
actually
That's
is
make
not a whole lot of trouble.
into a lot of trouble.
I mean, theoretically, if you're going through the trouble to try to make a petition and get people to agree and like promoting it, you're wanting to actually show whoever you're petitioning against, whatever you're trying to change something is the point. If you're just doing it to complain, then obviously there's
So
not really a
is
point.
trying to change something the point, or is changing something the point?
Trying to change it, you don't have the ability to change it. You have the ability to sway their opinion so that people who can change it will do it for you.
But what if it never happens?
Then you tried.
yeah, that's okay too.
So the point is to try.
yeah.
All right. Well, this guy is certainly trying. Best of luck to him. He's going to fail.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll have more success, hopefully, with the podcast, because this part just went.
Yeah.
This was interesting, wasn't it?
Eh.
All right. We'll be back right after this. Or maybe not. Who knows?
So it's tax season, everyone's favorite holiday. Hopefully everyone's present is a large sum of money. However, if you're bad at math like I am, the Fort Hood Tax Center has your back. With educated and friendly staff, they are sure to get you the most of your refund. The FHTC will be open from January 21st through April 16th, with business hours being 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday and Friday, and 9:30 a.m. through 7 p.m. on Thursdays. For information on how the FHTC can help you, make a call to 254-288-7995. Make your appointment today. FHTC located on 52nd and Support, Building 13.
Flurmit the Sock here for the Thrift Paving Plan. If you need a cheap driveway,
It's Thrift Savings Plan.
the Thrift Savings Plan, it's non-stick. Thrift Savings Plan. Soldiers and DoD civilians, listen up. Flurmit the Sock here for the Thrift Savings Plan. Are you socking away a little bit of money each month in your TSP? What? You're not? They call me crazy. The Thrift Savings Plan is a great way to make sure that you've got the supplemental income you need when you get old and wrinkly. Plus, the government can match up to 5% of your contribution. That's a free money. Make it rain, Uncle Sam. Make it rain. So look out for your future and sock some money away in the Thrift Savings Plan account. Visit www.tsp.gov for more information so you too can retire like a king. Or in my case, a pair of corgis. It's a sock thing.
It's me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello, Hello to all of my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. You number one.
So there I was, and this is no
That's right.
Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to think.
war stories, man.
Yep.
War story.
Tell us a band war story. Brianna.
Yeah.
Oh, so the first band that I was in, we have an award from us, from the band personnel, actually, quote, winning a battle.
What?
Yes.
Was it a battle of the band?
No, it was a battle of smarts. So what happened was, I believe it was during World War One.
Wait, so this wasn't your band?
No, well, it was
I'm
our
talking
band.
about like your.
Oh,
don't
me.
tell us like a general band battle story. Give us your war stories.
Yeah.
My war stories from the band.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we don't.
There
really
was a
have
guy named Audie Murphy. And
we
well, this awkward silence is embarrassing to band members across the uniformed services.
well, so all the times that I've deployed,
Mm-hmm.
I've just been attached as a security force because I don't play a popular instrument
Right.
that people
So,
want to hear.
Wait a second. Okay, so flute's not popular. Mm-hmm. So they put you as security.
Yes.
So you're not. So you're kind of
You're on
expendable.
guard duty.
Yes.
She's expendable, is what she is.
Good thing you can shoot
Yes.
straight, right?
Well,
Sort
you
of.
know, it's a little rough.
Protect the tuba player at all costs. He's
Yes.
pretty good with his fingers.
Yes. Well, it's because people, when you go downrange, they don't want to hear classical music. They're not into Bach or Mozart or anything like that. So it's the rock bands and the jazz bands and the big bands. I can get you like hyped up that they really like. And
that's
flute's not as
interesting.
so a lot of the woodwind players we're tasked to do separate things. Yeah. So
So you were on guard duty a lot.
that's all I did.
I see. That's
That was all I
fantastic.
did. Yeah.
I was worried, but then the woodwind showed up.
Yeah.
I knew they had my back.
Yeah.
I did.
No, I didn't play with the band at all. The only time they wanted me to play was when the band members were traveling at another fob, and there was nobody to play for a ceremony if somebody passed away or they came back.
Oh, that's
So, yeah, they would come and get me after because I work night shifts. So they would get me after like a 12-hour shift. They're like, oh, you need to be on the flight line in 2 hours.
wow.
So then I'd not sleeping all night, and then I'd have to play really, really well,
Sure.
Yeah.
sleep deprived, and like there's all these cameras in my face, and people are upset, obviously, and
Yep.
yeah, it was not fun. So I would do that, and then I would, once the ceremony would be over, then I would sleep, but I would still have to go back on shift in like 6 to 8 hours because usually it would last a couple
Well,
hours.
you know, have you ever thought of maybe fixing that by learning to play a useful instrument?
You know, I did play saxophone once upon a time, but I'm not a reed sucker, so I prefer just to play on the metal.
Did you just say reed sucker?
Yeah.
We're not getting into that on this. We're a family podcast. So anyway, moving on from this awkward moment.
Okay.
Yes, I don't like to deal with all the reeds and the saxophones, the clarinets. They're the ones that deal with the woodwind players. But I'm a woodwind player, but I use my air makes the sound vibrate and not the wood vibrating on.
Everything you say sounds dirty now.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
The moment.
You have a dirty
It's not
mind.
dirty, I swear.
No, that one conversation in the very first podcast we had, where I said, "Do you know any lip exercises?" Because I imagined that like you had to strengthen your lips to blow through a flute, and I thought you might make some funny sounds for us.
It was more the
On here.
jaw. Yeah.
Yeah, and then people heard that and were like, "You are a dirty old man," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" What? I was being honest. I was just wondering, but apparently our listenership has.
Oh no, it's nothing.
Concerning
It's nothing
tastes.
weird. I mean, it's just part of a craft,
It's just all weird after this now.
I guess.
It's all weird.
I know.
True. But we are short one member now.
Oh yeah.
One short member, that is.
Oh, she's not even here to defend herself.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Pearl has left. Pearl has left the building. Oh well. Well, we got the gang back together again. She was an outlier anyway.
Yeah, well, we'll let her read some spots or something. Right?
She'll be back
Yeah.
later.
She'll be back.
She will.
She will. Well, her voice will be. Not. What is that look? Oh my gosh! The steely-eyed look of Brianna Dew.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, someone else has steely eyes around here, and more than that, a steely constitution.
No doubt.
We have someone really cool with us today. All right, and that is Specialist Oxsean Adams. He's with the 36th Engineers Brigade, and he had a really unique experience happen to him. He's got a story that everybody out there who's listening, if you're messing with your phone, if you're driving down the road, pull off to the side. I want your full attention for this. All right. Hey, Sean, tell us your story.
Okay, so I just happened to be one day driving down Rancier to go check on a battle buddy's house because his apartment had caught on fire while he was away for a holiday block leave.
Wait, all right. This story got interesting right from the beginning. His apartment caught on fire?
His apartment complex.
Oh, wow.
His apartment didn't, but the complex did.
Wow.
And then at the same time, I was going to go get my kids from my mom at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So on my way there, I was stopping by, and I just so happened to see a gray car in the middle of the street, but it was on the wrong side of the street. So I was driving by. I seen what I thought was a guy that had got shot in the head or something.
Whoa.
So all I seen
Oh,
was,
goodness.
all I seen was him like laying down or laying back. And there was a woman there like trying to wave people down or direct traffic around.
Right.
And so EMS wasn't there at the time. So I was like, I'm going to pull over and see if I could help, if I could assist. I had just got out of CLS class like 2 weeks prior.
So that's Combat Lifesaver class.
Correct.
And you're an engineer, so why were you taking Combat Lifesaver class?
Well, when I get out of the Army, I kind of want to be like a firefighter or EMS.
Okay.
So
That's great.
I'm trying to take as much medical assistance classes as I can.
All right, so setting yourself up for success in your future. All right.
So we're back in the street, and looks like a headshot.
Yeah, what I thought was, or at least somebody was shot or something. But I
Yeah.
know someone was injured.
Uh-huh.
So
It was on
upon me-
Rancier? Oh, okay. Wow.
So upon me parking and then I arrived, I seen that it was actually a domestic violence. The guy had stabbed his girlfriend in the neck and sliced her tongue.
Oh,
What?
So
Wow.
Oh,
it was.
my God.
what'd you do?
So when I got there, it was another gentleman. I don't know if he was still active duty or not, but he had on like a brigade or battalion shirt or a jacket. So he was like, "Yeah, you want to like reach in the back seat and like help me grab this guy so we can get him off of the girlfriend, so the other two women that were there could get the girl to safety." So I reach in the back seat and I kind of like grab him, hold him down, along with the gentleman, and the two women that were there. Eventually, they got her out the passenger seat and took her onto the side of the road. And as I was letting go, the guy started like flipping out and screaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And he ended up like driving on the wrong side of the road and crashed into a car like the next street. Like,
Wow.
but after that happened, I walked over there to see what was wrong with the victim, the young lady.
Right.
So when I get there, I see that she's bleeding all everywhere. So I run to my car real quick and I grab my first aid kit.
Yeah.
Wow.
So your CLS bag was in the car with you? All right.
After I took the CLS class, I thought it was a good idea to keep it in the car.
Well, and
Just
it
in
was,
Wow,
yeah.
I think it was.
Right. So I go to my first aid kit and I grab some gauze pads and I run back over and put them on her neck and I do like a little blood sweep. Or I told the guys that were helping me also to do a blood sweep. Put her on her side that she's injured just in case if she chokes on her, because her tongue was split open.
Sure.
Oh, my God.
So really quick, what is a blood sweep?
Basically, you just go from head to toe, and you just checking for other parts on the body that could be injured.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's smart.
So we did that, and I made sure she didn't choke on her tongue or her saliva, so I put her on the side.
Right.
And we just applied pressure to the neck wound. I couldn't really do much about the tongue.
Sure.
But for the neck wound, we just applied pressure, and I just made sure she didn't go into shock or anything, so I had them keep her feet elevated until EMS was there to arrive.
How long did it take for them to get there?
It all happened so fast, but it probably like maybe 10 minutes.
Wow.
So you made sure she was conscious the whole time?
Oh, she was conscious the whole time.
Yeah.
She was able to speak and give us her name and her address.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
So once you realized what was happening, is it like time slowed down? I mean, what was going through your mind?
At first, when they was like, he stabbed her in the neck, when I first arrived, I kind of like froze for a little second, like, all right, this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when the other gentleman was like, you want to help grab the man out from the back seat, and I just jumped in the action, and everything else came secondhand.
Right.
Wow.
Adrenaline taking over, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
My goodness.
So how much would you say taking that CLS class aided you that day in helping to save that woman's life?
Pretty much all of it. You know?
Wow.
Everything that they taught me in the class pretty much came in hand, like from checking for response, for alertness, consciousness, and then doing the whole checking the blood areas and what to do if you run into that type of problem.
Wow. Have you had any contact with her since then? Have you followed up to make sure she was okay or anything?
Oh, no, I haven't, actually.
All right.
I tried catching up with the story on social media, but as far as that was it.
Sure. Well, I can understand that. Yeah, especially in that situation, somebody might want their privacy or anything, but you know that you did a good deed, and that is amazing.
That is amazing.
You know, they often say when something tragic happens or something shocking happens, you can prepare all you want, but you don't know how you're going to react until it happens in real life.
Right.
And you've certainly shown your mettle in that. So how do you feel now that you've taken the class and you've had this experience, going downrange, going to a place where you might be in imminent danger? Do you feel prepared for that?
Yes, I do. I feel like if it was to occur again, that I know I could react a little bit quicker. I won't have that little second that I took when I froze the first time. You know, it'll just be like, okay, I see it. I know what I need to do now. So.
Sure. Your family's still in Austin, right?
Correct.
What did your mom say when you told her about all of this? Especially you going in the back seat with a guy that just stabbed a girl.
Yeah, she was shocked. She kind of already heard about it because she was like, yeah, I just heard the wreck around the corner. There was a guy that just hit the pizza man, and that was the same guy. So she was kind of already aware of the situation, but not too much aware that I was actually helping.
You were there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's incredible.
So when you're not saving lives, what's your day job in the Army? What do you do?
I'm a horizontal construction engineer. So
Explain that, if you would, please.
Okay, basically we just use the same construction equipment you would see on I-35 or something, or basically right now on 195, where they're doing all the road construction.
We see that a lot.
Yes.
Horizontal engineer. So they plank everywhere they go.
Yeah, they plank.
Oh, my goodness.
What happens when you get to something like an incline or something? Are you like, hey, that's not my job. You got to call the vertical engineer, Steve, get over here.
So you've been in the Army 3 years. How much longer you got?
Actually, I ETS December 24th of this year.
Not that you're counting the days.
Yes.
But I think I'm going to re-enlist.
Really?
Re-enlist. I'm going to extend for a year, see if I can get into CTC for the EMS class.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So that's something I really want to do.
Kind of set you up for the next chapter, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
You don't want to leave Fort Hood at all?
What is that supposed to mean?
No, I mean, like, I was just wondering, like, does you want to stay in the great place forever?
I kind of did at first when I first got in the Army, but now I kind of want to adventure.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of world to see.
Yeah, especially if I've been in Texas all my life.
That's true.
Yeah. But it's nice that you're close to family, you know. It sounds like you're cless to your mom.
Yeah, as soon as I told her that I was going to Killeen, she hurry up and left San Antonio and came
Move
to
a little
Killeen.
closer. Yeah.
Really?
Oh my
She followed you?
goodness.
Yeah, she follows me
Well, that's
everywhere.
great.
Oh
Now
my
she's going to be like,
goodness.
why didn't you get stationed in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Because she was staying in Austin, and then I moved to San Antonio. That's when I started my enlistment process, and she moved to San Antonio.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's fantastic.
That's
So
wonderful.
what advice would you have for other soldiers who are thinking about taking the CLS course? What would you tell them?
I would tell them, take the course and take it seriously. You know, when that situation occurs, like that training that they give you will actually help. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Save
you're
lives.
proof positive of that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, and we wish you luck in your future endeavors, whether it's staying in the Army or going off being an EMS. I know if I ever get in trouble out there and need help, if you're there, I'll be in good hands.
Yes, you will.
That's
All right.
great.
And we will be right back with more after this. You're pointing at me. What is that? Now thumbs up. Oh, we're going to break. All right, there we go.
What does resiliency mean to you? For the folks at Fort Hood Resiliency Campus, resiliency is helping folks help themselves. The campus offers a wide range of programs, each aimed at assisting Fort Hood units and individuals in need of morale and team building opportunities. Through programs like the Applied Fitness Center, Military Life Counselors, the Army Wellness Center, Nutrition Clinic, and the Warrior Quest Adventure Program, the Resiliency Campus headquarters is located on the 5th floor of the Shoemaker Center on Darnall Loop. To find out more about what the Fort Hood Resiliency Campus can offer you, look them up on Facebook or give them a call at 254-285-5693.
Hey everybody, who that going to the big show?
Who that?
No matter who it is,
Them boy.
rustle on in and kick back at Samuel Adams Brewhouse. That's right, free appetizers while they last, football squares,
Yep.
giant Jenga,
Jenga.
free pool, and of course, the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
No matter who you're rooting for,
Cheesehead.
join us at the Fort Hood Samuel Adams for good food, great drinks, and better times.
For more information, visit hood.armymwr.com.
Okay, 1, 2. Do you give me a count?
No, I don't have a tempo. on this one.
1, 2, 3, and.
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. Your tax dollars at work.
When I'm headed down south to the land of pine, stumble my way in North Carolina.
So, Brianna, what's up with your outfit today? You're not in your greens.
I know. Today ended up being an off day for my unit because we worked through the Martin Luther King holiday, the 4-day.
Really?
Yes. So we were distressed persons. We went out to the field multiple times, and our job was to just disrupt and invade people's like security points and their checkpoints. And we walked up in there. At one point, we were like refugees, and we wanted like their food and their water.
I imagine being with the band that there's like a people are standing guard somewhere, and then from the bushes they start to hear music.
Yes.
And the music is coming, and out of the bushes are rattling, and suddenly here comes a guy with a tuba, and then following him behind a guy on the drums.
The
Is
drums.
Is that how that disruption works for the band?
Not for this one. We didn't bring our horns. We just brought our voices and our mayhem,
Man,
which
how
we do
did-
bring every time though. There's
So,
always
like,
mayhem.
So, the band not only has band members playing, guitars and your typical instruments and stuff, you have singers too.
Yes,
so
we do.
Were the singers out there going, I want food?
We do have vocalists, but no, they were not there for.
Okay,
for
well,
that.
that's no fun. You
Yeah.
guys need to get more into it. Bring the band.
It was pretty crazy. We had people climbing trees and like running into their secure like talk, and like their first sergeants and majors were pretty pretty upset that.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Anytime you can upset an officer is an interesting day in the Army. Well,
Yes.
that does sound crazy. And
It was.
speaking of crazy,
Yes.
one of the craziest news stories that I can remember that I read in the Fort Hood Sentinel, Fort Hood's greatest and only newspaper, is the one about people recycling animals. Did you hear about that?
No,
so
I didn't.
we actually had to put out a message that said to people, don't put dead animals in the recycling bin.
Oh my goodness.
And I wondered, what's up with that? Are there people out there that think, oh no, the rabbit's dead. Well, at least I can put him into recycling and there'll be another rabbit in the world. Or how does that work? Maybe there's 4 bunnies for one rabbit, or it takes
I think
6 dead rabbits to
maybe
make
it's like a circle of life thing. They're recycling it back into the earth, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of weird, though.
That's not the way recycling works here on Fort Hood, and you shouldn't put dead animals into the recycling bins.
I mean, it's 2020, people. Let's move on from that.
Bring out your dead. Well, today we've got some folks who are experts on recycling here with us.
Yay.
We've got Michael Bush, the operations manager, Fort Hood Recycle. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
And we have Jackelyn Ferrer-Perez, sustainability program manager of DPW Environmental.
Hello.
Hello, and I get a cookie for not messing up either of those names or titles.
Thank you for being here.
Mm-hmm. So, recycling, what's up with that?
Well, it's always interesting. Here recently, we've been getting some very interesting things in our containers. I think people are doing more wish cycling than recycling. They kind of wish something could be recycled, so they just put it in the container hoping it flies. But we've been getting a lot of interesting things. The deer head, carcasses, different ducks, different kinds of ducks, mallards, those sorts of things. So, it seems like if Fluffy or Buster has a bad day at the vet, they end up in our container.
Oh,
so,
my gosh.
Recycle center, not a taxidermy.
I think you guys are the pet cemetery. They put him in there, he comes back with the glowing
with
red eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. But so what kind of things should they be recycling?
Yes.
They should be recycling cardboard items, things like TV boxes, cereal boxes, things like that. Your paper products, anything paper, including newspaper, inserts, plastic bottles, your water bottles, your milk jugs, things of that nature. And obviously metals. We have a full metals yard. We can take different types of metals. We can also take your washing dryers, microwaves, things of that nature. So we actually have a big program. It's we do take a lot of different things. It's just making sure the right things go in containers or are brought to the yard.
Well, previous to my being here at Fort Hood, I spent the last 10 years in Japan. It seems like I say that a lot on here.
Yeah.
But I was. Brianna was also stationed in Japan at the same time I was, so our paths crossed there. And I lived on the economy in Japan, so I didn't live on post. I lived off post. And Japan has very stringent recycling rules.
They do not joke around.
Yeah, let me go into, I'm going to ask you, so if I have a CD that's all scratched, all the millennials are out there going, what's a CD? If I have a compact disc that's, I don't want anymore, it's busted.
Sitting on top of your 8-track?
Yep. How would I recycle that? How would I get rid of that?
Well, currently we don't accept CDs, but there are different places out there that might. If you give us a call, we may have contacts as far as where you can take those items. If we don't take them ourselves, we are able to direct people in the right to the right place to recycle.
Right. Well, they do accept CDs in Japan, but this is how I would have to throw away or recycle a CD. I would have to take the CD out of the CD. I would have to take the booklet out of the CD. So now I have booklet, CD case, and CD. Then I would have to pop that little black part that holds the CD out.
Wow.
And remove the little paper backing thing. Put that with the booklet because that's paper.
Right.
Pull the staples out of that.
Wow.
Okay. So now I've got booklet and backing. That's 1. I've got clear plastic front and back. That's 2. I've got the CD. That's 3. And I've got the black plastic. That's 4. And each one goes in a different container.
Right.
So Fort Hood, the fact that you can just put whatever into one container and they'll recycle it. My gosh, you're living in God's country here.
Well, that's the problem. It's not whatever.
Yeah. So what is it?
Well,
it's anything that can be recyclable is what we're looking for. Assuming that we take it as a program. So there are certain things that can be recycled, but maybe it's a specialty recycler or something like that. That's where we would have to get
This
you in.
is really complicated. You know, in my mind, recycling is you take a can and you put it in the can bin, and you take plastic and you put it in the plastic bin. But it's not as cut and dry as that.
It's not as cut and dry just because, we receive a lot of items that could possibly be recycled, or people hope that they're recycled, so they put them in the can. Again, I said wish recycling. Hopefully we can do something with it, so let's just stick it in there. A lot of times, certain things are not able to be recycled, but the majority with single stream recycling, we do accept a lot of products. So if you look at the labels on the containers, if you have any questions, you can call us. There are a lot of things you can put in there that does make it very easy and convenient.
Is there a list that you have at all?
There is. We do have a list, and we do we try to put as much information on stickers as we can, but there's only so much info we can put on a sticker. But
I know they have a lot on because we have one outside our building at the band hall, and there's it's a pretty big size one. I think it's like 2 feet by like 1 foot.
A recycling bin?
We have like a massive one, and it's like really clearly marked like big red X, don't accept, and then this one is green check mark.
Well, there's a lot of resources. We also have a Facebook page that's very detailed, and there's also an app. So all of those resources can help you.
How can people find that Facebook page?
It's Fort Hood Recycle.
All right, so that's easy. Just type in Fort Hood Recycle. What about the app?
And the app is it's a free download for either Apple or Android. You just do your search in your app store. It says Fort Hood Recycle. You'll see the symbol come up. And it's very easy to use. It's a search engine. You just type in whatever you're trying to recycle. And we have over 600 items in there now.
Oh, wow.
So if we can recycle it, it'll tell you exactly what to do with it. If we can't recycle it, then it'll tell you that as well. So that's a good point of reference. You can have that on your phone. If you have any questions, you're about to recycle something, you're not sure, just pull it up real quick and enter the word in there for what you're trying to recycle.
That is super handy.
Do people send you messages on the Facebook page, like asking? That's awesome.
We get messages all the time. We try to respond fairly quickly to those messages. And then we do also, if somebody's searching for something on the app that we are not, let's say it's not loaded in the app, but they search for something we haven't thought of. It actually captures all of those searches. So that way we can look for things to add to the app. So we're always adding items. We're always growing our database, so trying to make it as easy as possible.
You guys are all over it. Now, how does this all play into sustainability?
So with sustainability, when you look at from the mission aspect, we need energy, we need water, we need natural resources, and we need to be able to use those in a way that we can sustain them well into the future in order for mission to continue.
Sure.
And of course, when we're using all of those resources, we also generate waste. So we need to constantly be looking for new alternatives to minimize the amount of waste that we're creating. And one way to do that is to recycle.
That's true. So sustainability is about protecting the planet and making sure that there's a planet here for the future generations and future soldiers here at Fort Hood.
Yeah. Yes, and so specifically for DoD, it's about finding ways to maintain resiliency of the mission.
All right. So what are some of sustainability's biggest challenges for Fort Hood?
So, for instance, the single stream. So we're trying to really push out some new materials so that we can educate the public so that we can have less contamination issues, because that's been challenging. And like we were saying earlier, everybody thinks single stream, everything can go in there. And it's kind of just reversing that and reteaching, responsible ways of recycling and how to do it correctly.
That's great. Well, how can soldiers and their families and their kids help make and keep Fort Hood a resilient, healthy, ecologically friendly place?
Well, There's so many ways. I mean, you can look at how you use your energy and your water, recycling, just consuming less. One thing with recycling that we've been seeing a lot lately, a lot of articles that say, oh, this is the truth about recycling. These are the myths about recycling. Where is it really going? What's really happening to it? And sometimes there's three groups there. There's the people that read that and they're like, well, then I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And then you have the other group that's more, okay, so then what can I do? Okay, so maybe I shouldn't use single-use products. Maybe I can use my reusable bottle every day instead of always buying plastic bottles. And
stuff like bringing a reusable bag to the grocery store with you instead of getting the 90 plastic bags that they give you as you go in.
Yes, exactly. So some people don't want to recycle anymore because of it, and some people are more responsible for it. And then you got people in the middle that are kind of don't really know what to do. So what we encourage people to do is continue to recycle. Don't let those articles dissuade you or make you change in a different direction that's less responsible, less friendly to the environment. Recycling is still a very good thing here for Fort Hood, and we want for people to continue to do it. We just got to work on how to do it correctly. So.
All right. Well, great. Hey, I want to thank you both for being on the show today, and we expect to have you back in the future to talk more recycling, sustainability, because we want to be an ecologically friendly and helpful podcast.
Absolutely. Yes. Appreciate your time.
All right. Yes. Awesome. Brianna, take us out.
We'll be back after this.
All right.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What is life? What's an honorable discharge? Sounds disgusting. Where'd my filing? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about operational poo-poo-poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational security's OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSEC. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you better not.
Smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC. Identifying critical information, identifying the threat, assessing vulnerabilities, analyzing the risk, and developing and applying countermeasures. The OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture that ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, but seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sporky.
Coming on strong on a Monday. I feel so low. Won't be long till one day when you know. Coming on strong on a Tuesday. I can't see. It won't be long till you'll stay.
All right. Well, it's been lovely, you all.
Welcome back.
I'm so glad to be back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was very sad.
Were you?
You notice he never did say we missed you.
Yeah.
That was
What's up
really
with that?
messed up.
I didn't want to speak for
Senior
everyone.
producer, you know.
Well, I missed you guys.
She was texting me, so I felt like she was here with me.
Yeah.
I was there in spirit.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were there in the show. Yeah.
Were you? Were you sitting there going, I got to shoot straight so I can get back to the podcast? Were we on your mind?
I was hoping that we would get done soon, but that was all for naught.
Was it for the podcast or for comfort's sake?
Both.
All right. Well, at least you're honest.
It was a consistent rain that day. Like it wasn't heavy rain, but it was just enough to get you soaked.
Well, you had your Army issued snivel gear, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
How'd that work out for you? Well,
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go lay in that water. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that was the worst part, was like laying in the pit that's
Yeah.
just full of water and
Yep.
mud. And you're like,
Yep.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Yeah, that's why you make
Yes.
the mad flute money. That's band money she's making.
I gotta get my Yaz flute chops up.
That's right. I don't
So-
even know what that means, and I agree with you.
It's the joke for the jazz flute, like in Anchorman when he plays the Yaz flute.
That's a very specific joke, which
Wow.
reaches none of our demographic. And we've lost our final 2 listeners. Dave's even turned on us. Not you, Dave. Florida Dave.
Yeah, Florida Dave.
Florida Dave, he's gone by now. We can say anything about him we want.
Thanks for playing, guys.
Yes.
And we will talk to you next week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say really quickly.
Oh, yes, say it.
You know how I mentioned that one of my New Year's resolutions was to read a book a month?
Yes.
I have finished one book.
What? Which one was it? Wait, hold on. There's a button.
Yes. I'm using this podcast to keep me accountable, so that I at least read one a month. So.
All right. What book did you read?
It was a religious book. The
Bible?
No.
The Quran? The
No.
Torah?
It was called When God Doesn't Fix It.
Huh,
Yeah.
That doesn't sound very uplifting.
It was about a singer-songwriter's her husband had a brain tumor, and he has short-term memory now from it, and he will be like that forever. So
Right.
yeah, and just talking about like her overcoming, adapting to life before and after.
So was this like a positive religious thing
It was
or like a negative?
Mhm. It was positive. It was like basically like the normal, like using your struggles to not overtake you, but to kind of, like define you, like a normal, like uplifting
If it
story.
doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Yeah,
That's right.
that kind of mindset. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, at least in his case, he won't be able to remember it.
Yeah.
So he's good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
liked it.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Yes.
Fantastic. And I'm going to say goodbye before we get around to me talking about my New Year's resolution.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
I hope they're going well.
We got to go bye.
Bye. No,
Goodbye.
Bye.
Maybe.
Driving down the road again. Guitar starts